Playing the Radical Latino Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands in the air for New York's very own.
Radical Latino is taking you to another level.
What's poppin', my people? Welcome back to another episode of the Radical Latino. It's your gracious host, the Radical Latino. What's poppin', my people? Yes, I'm back in Bodega Studios, Goya Bean Studios, whatever you call it. You know, I'm right behind a little Mexican lady putting the Goya beans inside the can and all that. You know what's poppin'? How was y'all week? Shit, I was out for a whole other week. I want to let you guys know I officially made a year of podcasting. Officially, yes, a year. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the round of applause. Oh my God, thank you so much. A crazy road. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to make a year. Next episode, that's why I'm gonna celebrate it. You feel me? But yes, I've made a year of podcasting. You know, I just talk about it whenever I talk. I'll talk about it next week. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm going to announce a lot of things next week, where the podcast is going, where everything, how I'm going to start structuring things, more interviews, more people coming on. I'm definitely going to try to get a lot of the listeners on, just to, shoot the shit and say what we want to talk about, whatever, let the little feedback come in or whatever the case is. But yeah, so that's what I'm planning, you know what I'm saying? That's for next week, like I said again. Also a big shout out to all my new listeners, subscribers. Shout out to y'all. I hope y'all doing great. You feel what I'm saying? I hope everybody is loving the information. I hope everybody is loving and liking what they're hearing. You know what I'm saying? I hope all of y'all start getting in tune and all that. And also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the same name, Radical_Latino_. You know what I'm saying? I'll be posting there. Now I'm starting to post there more frequently. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, how was y'all week? My week has been hectic, just running around, doing this, doing that, just getting, my personal shit together, a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. First of all, did you guys see Avengers Endgame? That's all I want to know. Did you guys see Avengers Endgame? First of all, this is going to be a spoiler alert. This is going to be a spoiler ass episode. If you guys did not see Endgame, fast forward. I'm going to put the time codes. I got the time codes up. If this is YouTube, go to the description and you could go skip ahead or whatever. If you don't have the time codes or whatever the case is, just skip 10 minutes from now. You know what I'm saying? So 13 minutes or whatever. Anyway, Avengers Endgame. Holy shit. First of all, this movie was highly anticipated. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm like, I'm not a comic book geek, but I be watching these these superhero movies and all that. And my dude, that's Batman right there. You know what I'm saying? I grew up watching Batman, and I'm like, I thought I was Batman at one point. Feel what I'm saying? But yeah, Batman, he's the shit. He's my dude. But I gotta give it up to Marvel. Marvel, they know what the fuck they're doing. Marvel knows their shit. They know their shit. That's something for DC to actually, learn from Marvel. DC, look, they've been. See, this is what a company does when something works. They don't know how to fucking, they don't know how to just maneuver. Just okay, this works one way. Let's not fucking drag it around all our characters. Like Batman worked because Nolan grounded him, made him mad dark, mad emo. You know what I'm saying? Grounded him. Don't do that to all the characters. That's when DC fucks up. You know what I'm saying? That's when DC fucks up. Alright? Marvel doesn't do that. They understand one character is grounded, the other one is some fantasy, the other one is some, you know what I'm saying? That's when DC fucks up. Don't get me wrong, DC got the cartoon game on Smash, baby. They got the shit on Smash. Don't get me wrong. But the movie game, they're basura. Deadass. They're basura, yo. But, like I said, DC gotta, you know, they gotta get some pointers. But Avengers Endgame already, like, from Thursday alone, broke somewhat records. You know what I'm saying? Was it 60 or 80 million or something like that? Just on Thursday alone. And then the weekend, coming Monday, they broke like 100 something. Dude, that shit was crazy. It got to the point where AMC started opening up more movie screen, movie showings, to the point it's in the day. I saw it in the daytime, and that shit was still packed. I saw it at 7 a.m. a matinee. That shit was still packed. You know what I'm saying? That shit was still packed. But this is gonna be all spoilers. So the shit opens up with Hawkeye showing his daughter how to shoot arrows. Then out of nowhere, she disappears. You know what I'm saying? And now that's how it opens up. And then we fast forward to how they gonna, figure out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Tony Stark is still in space and all that. And then Captain Marvel finds him, and then she rescues him. And then Iron Man and Captain America, they beef him because he was like, I told you, I saw this vision, nigga. You know what I mean? So all that other shit, right? Takes his chest piece out. He's like, next time you find him, you put this on and you hide. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh shit, Iron Man. Oh man, he's scared, you know? Then 5 years go by, everybody's trying to cope and just relive, not relive, but trying to cope with the fact that everybody got, vanished and all that shit. And then the real hero in this whole thing is that rat that got Ant-Man out of the quantum realm. You know what I'm saying? So the rat goes by, my nigga comes out, and I don't know, now Ant-Man is out. Now he don't know what to do. He's lost like all of us right now. Everybody lost. That's it. He lost. And he goes back and he's like, what's going on? My daughter's big. What the fuck? And he finds out, ah shit, everybody dead. Fine. And he was like, no, don't tell me she's dead. Don't tell me she's dead. Guess what? Bitch is dead. That's it. Over, nigga. So finds out she's dead, his girl, and then he goes to the Avengers place, finds out that, they're still alive, I need some help, blah blah blah. He goes in, and then he goes like, the one cheat code every movie or every franchise does: time travel. Nah, that's impossible, that can't happen. 20 minutes later, that's possible, that could happen. You know what I'm saying? So alright, time travel. Now David Banner, which is now the Hulk the whole way through, he's Professor Hulk now, you know what I'm saying? He's embracing it. They time traveling, all that, and time travel hijinks happening, all this other bullshit, blah blah blah, this and this and this. They finally got the Infinity Stones. Now they're gonna snap everybody back, right? The Hulk puts it on. You can't handle all that power. Snaps his finger, bang. Ant-Man goes outside. He's like, everybody came back, but guess what? Somebody who came back from time wasn't the same person. Ooh, oh shit. Nebula, she switched with the girl. She switched with her own stuff that went back in time, rerouted it. Now young Thanos is coming back for the gauntlet. Comes back, blows the whole shit up. Bah! You know what I'm saying? Blows the whole shit up. Then comes down, and he's waiting for everybody. He's like, yeah, let's go. Yeah. He's waiting for everybody, right? Then the three people come out: Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man. And they're like, let's go. So they, they're fighting and shit. They're like, you can't beat me, that and all this other bullshit. Thanos is giving them that work, He's a young nigga, you know, he's a young dude. So he's blah, 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 you know, doing his thing, blah, blah, blah. And that's when we think, yo, that shit is over. Thanos he's too strong for these motherfuckers. That's when Mjolnir flies off and you think it's going to Thor. Nope. Captain America grabs that shit and he starts wilding, you know, shoot, you know, hitting this dude and all that other shit. And then Thanos goes like, fuck out of here. Bang. You know, that's it. He's about to be done. His shield's cracked and all that. And then out of nowhere you hear on your left. And then everybody comes out. Everybody. You know, Black Panther, the rest of the Avengers, other people I didn't even know about, Jesse Jackson. Everybody comes out. I was like, oh shit, who the fuck are these all people? You know what I mean? Everybody comes out. And then you hear Black Panther say, Umbambe, Imbambe. You know what I mean? That's like their rallying cry. You know, they were like, I was like, oh shit, Black Panther, R.I.P. Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? Do your shit. So I'm already at this point. I'm hyped. You know, I'm hyped now. And then, you know, he's trying to get the gauntlet. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's fighting everybody, you know. They're trying to get at Thanos. Thanos trying to get the gauntlet. Then it turns into this whole like little marathon, you know, a field, track and field type of shit, because everybody's getting the gauntlet and then hands it off to somebody else and then sends it off to somebody else, and then all the female characters get in one point of the movie, just they all get together and start fighting people. I think they did that for the female for the female fans. I don't know why, but that's, you know, shout out to y'all. You know, all the females got together and start fighting everybody else and all that too. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, one part of the movie where I was like, oh shit, because Captain Marvel comes back, right? And takes a whole ship out, right? So, oh shit, she was the one we were all waiting for. She's the one we were all waiting for, son. She was giving him that work. Thanos said, what? Grabs the Power Stone. Blow! Get the fuck out of here. Yo, she goes flying, and then Iron Man's like, nah, this can't happen. No. Then he looks at Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange points at one finger, said, this is the last chance you got. Grabs the part of Infinity Gauntlet that hold the stones, and then Thanos does that snap, nothing happened. Looked at Iron Man, he said, I'm Iron Man. Did the snap, everybody disappeared. He killed Thanos and all this other shit, and then he dies. Oh, yo, I didn't care, but the person right in front of me, when Iron Man died, she was like, no! You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing. There's the thing. Alright, now everybody, that's it. It's spoiler free, it's done. Like the spoiler shit is done. But this is the thing that I don't understand, man. Some of the shit that happened, how are they gonna try to tie that into the timeline? I don't get it, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. How some of that shit's gonna get tied into the timeline? I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. I don't know. I got questions. You feel what I'm saying? I got questions, man. I got questions. But that's basically my I'm not even gonna end it. Listen, I don't get it, man. The movie, fire. 5 out of 5. That's how you do a Marvel movie. That's how you end the whole series. You know what I'm saying? They saying Spider-Man is the end of Phase 4, but whatever. That's how you end a series. You know what I'm saying? That's how you end it. So, shout out to Marvel. You know, shout out to all them other players in the game. Shout out to everybody. That's how you end a series. That's how you end a whole, like, a slew of films. You feel what I'm saying? So, shout out to Marvel. They were doing their thing. You know what I mean? Now, with that out the way, mind you, because I'm gonna see that shit twice. You feel what I'm saying? Now, with that out the way, did you guys see the trailer from When They See Us? It's a Netflix movie that's coming out. I think it's coming out this month. I believe it's coming out this month. It's called When They See Us. Yo, you guys haven't seen the trailer, see that shit. It talks about the Central Park 5. The woman who did the documentary 13, basically about Amendment 13 and how it's bullshit and all this other stuff. First of all, great documentary. I highly recommend it. They got Michelle Alexander. They got listen, great documentary. Great documentary. If anybody wants to see something on Netflix, watch 13. I'm telling you, that shit is dope. Shit that you already know, but other things that you're like, whoa, I had no idea about. Go watch that. So it's the same woman who did 13, and she's doing this shit. The movie When They See Us. You know what I'm saying? And it takes place in the 70s. It revolves around the story of the Central Park 5. About if nobody don't know, it's about these 5 black kids. One of them I think was Dominican. Dominican, Puerto Rican. Anyway, it's about 5 black kids. You know what I'm saying? And they get accused of raping and killing a jogger in Central Park in the 70s, right? Now, this is the important part. Check this out. Before this whole thing happened, they were running with this propaganda in the news about teenagers wilding out. That's what they were calling it, wilding. Teenagers are wilding. You know what I'm saying? Wilding and stuff. Notice when the white media wants to... This is something I want to just say because something I noticed. Notice when the white media wants to push a propaganda and they want to make it stick, like something catchy, and it has to do with something black. They always have it has this kind of like corny connotation to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like this corny feel, like wildin', the knockout game. That, you know what I'm saying? That shit doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even sound good in the ear. You know what I mean? But to them, we're all dumb. We don't make any sense anyway. So to them, whatever we do is, punishable. You feel what I'm saying? So, anyway. So, before this happened, they were running this propaganda in New York. This all happened in New York. Propaganda in New York about teenagers wilding, so be careful when you go outside. These teenagers out here wilding. They playing this game wilding. You know what I'm saying? And when you actually question people, wilding, what the hell is that? What wilding? What is that? Oh, it's just teenagers wild. Okay, what does that mean? No, they start running around, screaming. Okay, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? So they try to make it like into something that you're doing wrong. But when you question them, the fuck does that? Okay, what's wrong about running around and yelling and having fun? You know what I mean? Oh, they start breaking property, and then they start inventing shit. You know what I mean? So when this propaganda started happening, they started criminalizing a lot of things that black and Latin people did. Mind you, because by this point in the 70s, it just got off of the Black Panther movement. The black excellence was really strong, but it was dying down. You know what I'm saying? In the Bronx, they were still doing that Bronx burning shit, burning buildings down and all that. So people in the Bronx were all fucked up. You know what I mean? And then you had the Young Lords in the Bronx. It was a gang of Latin youths that were basically it was like a representation of Black Panthers, but it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But it was like their own little forum, the Young Lords. So they got their own little group, and they were talking about Latin empowerment and all this other stuff. So shit was moving different, in New York. That's why they made the movie Warriors. You know what I'm saying? That was like a little comic book depiction of how shit was. But anyway, so now this propaganda wilding is out, right? Then this thing happened. Some lady got murdered, raped, and murdered, right? Mind you, these kids don't know what the fuck is going on. They're playing in the park. Police is coming. They leaving. They go to the other side of Central Park. Mind you, Central Park is huge. For those who don't know, never been to New York, Central Park is huge. So they come, they go to Central Park and all that. They go to the other side. All right, cool. Now they're leaving. And the police came and started rattling all these kids up that was coming out of the park. They were getting like groups of them, groups of them. And they singled out 5 kids, 5 random kids. They just singled them out. You know what I'm saying? They just singled them out, 5 kids. Then they brought them down to the police station. And because of one witness, for what I remember, I believe this is how the story goes. One witness was there, and she, pointed out, yeah, dude, these are the kids out there and all this other shit. And the police basically didn't have no evidence. They didn't have no evidence. It's the 70s, The police cars were blue and shit, like blue. Man, they didn't have evidence. What the fuck, So everything was corrupt back then. They have kids there, getting interrogated. And they basically lied and said, listen, if you say that you did it, you'll go home. So guess what these kids did? They wrote a statement saying, I did it. With all the details of the case completely wrong. And guess what? They went to jail for like something close to like 20 something years. All of them went to jail for something like 20 something years. Ended up finding out through DNA evidence years later that they didn't even do that. They didn't even do that. And the real killer and the real person who did ended up confessing, saying, yeah, yo, I did it. It was some Latin dude, some fucking scumbag saying, yeah, I did it. I didn't say shit, but whatever, But yeah, years later. And then before then, mind you, this shit was, top news. It was racially based. You even had Hillary Clinton. This is when she coined the term super predators. This is when she coined that term, super predators. She was calling us a bunch of super predators. That's what she was saying. On top of that, you had the white supremacist Donald Trump putting out full-page ads talking about New York needs to bring back the death penalty. You know what I'm saying? Bring back the death penalty. And the funny thing is, after they got exonerated from that crime because of DNA evidence, you know what Donald Trump said? I don't believe that. I don't believe what science says. I don't believe what DNA says. They still did it. You feel what I'm saying? So that goes to show, the mind of a white supremacist. You know what I mean? Even it doesn't matter what proof you got. So whenever you argue with them, it doesn't matter how you've proven them wrong. I'm white and I say so. You know what I'm saying? So no, I don't give a fuck what you say, because I say is this, and fuck your evidence. You know what I'm saying? So that happened, right? So this is what the story, basically is about. But I believe what she's gonna do, she's gonna not break it up, but she's gonna do it as how they experienced everything, how the whole thing went. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's gonna be a documentary thing. So I'm excited to actually see it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited to actually see the shit. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited to see the shit. I'm excited to actually see how she's gonna do this, how she's going to have certain people play of certain things. I want to see if she's gonna actually include Hillary Clinton, and I want to see if she actually is gonna include Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. I want to see if she's actually gonna include these people, and if she's gonna make them say what she's gonna make, what they actually said. But you know what I mean? It is what it is. Now, moving on to something else that I found extremely interesting, that I actually came across a news article talking about Latin people age slowly. Yeah, believe it or not, that insane, right? I put that shit on my Instagram and actually on my Twitter. So go there and actually see it. It's a news article. You can actually look it up. Insane. Latin people age slowly. No wonder this whole goddamn time I was still being confused as a 21-year-old, you know? But yeah, Latin people age slowly. So if you read the article, it basically says that scientists are still trying to figure out why only Latin people. Mind you, we're not a race, even though we should be, but whatever. We're not a race. Latin is not a race, but they said that for some reason, the Latin ethnicity, for some reason, age slowly. They age way slower than any other race. Latin people age slowly, and black people age slowly. And they put Latin and black people, you know, side by side. And they said, you know, through genetic testing and stuff, they say that Latin people are more genetically well, they say rounded for some reason, because we got the two dominant genes of indigenous and African blood, and because we got that white blood in us, that just, you know, it mixes up or whatever, you know, and that's the reason genetically that those two dominant traits cancel whatever out, and is the reason why we age slowly. And scientists are trying to figure that out. And this article was old. This article was, I think, in 2015, 2016. This article was old, but I think that's what it was, around that year. But that shit is weird. Like, Latin people aging slowly, that's some shit. We're like the fountain of youth, you know what I mean? Like, and that basically goes to show how, you know, white people, they kind of age like milk. You feel what I'm saying? You ever seen a white person in their 30s looking already like in their mid 40s? Not even. I remember I went to school in Manhattan. That was the first time ever. All my other schools were in the Bronx, but I went to the school in Manhattan. And I remember watching most white kids, they were, you know, we're all 17. Why are they looking like in their early 30s? You know what I'm saying? They look like in their early 30s with, you know, beards and all that other shit, balding already. Most of them were already going bald. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So that goes to show that, you know, black don't crack. You know what I'm saying? And it's true what they say, black don't crack. I know, going just down the street, you think a girl is like, you know what I'm saying? Oh damn, you look wild young. You're like 21. Nah, I'm actually 29. What? You know what I mean? It's insane. It's insane. And scientists are trying to figure that out. You know what I mean? Scientists are trying to figure that out, and that just goes to show how genetically resourceful we are, you know, and genetically how black folks have certain superior genes inside of them, and because of the mixing, Latin people caught that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the indigenous part of our genetic trait, that plays a part of everything. You know what I mean? That plays a part of everything. So, you know, for my Latin people, you know, shout out to y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all, you know, old young asses. You know, shout out to y'all. Also, another thing that I actually found hilarious, Coachella. So, for those who don't know what Coachella is like its music festival or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? Bunch of acts or whatever. But this is something I found extremely interesting. I put this on my Instagram a couple of days ago. But this is what I found extremely interesting on Coachella. There was this news article that came out that says 250 new herpes cases causes a day reported during Coachella Music Festival. Basically, there was 250 cases of herpes reported from the Coachella Music Festival. How funny is that? How funny is that? And I put on my shit, I said, so I guess Coachella was lit. People came back with more than merch. It's funny, but how funny is that shit? The funny thing is that, you know, a lot of white people go to Coachella. A lot of white people go to Coachella, and a lot of white people attend Coachella. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that white people have this myth of being very clean. White people have this myth of being, really good at everything, basically everything, and super clean. And talk to any maid out there. Go work at a hotel for just one day. You'll see, white people are nasty as shit. White people are nasty as fuck. I'm telling you, nasty as shit. The thing is, white people have this myth where they don't. It's funny. I was speaking to somebody, and we were speaking about, just for some reason, the AIDS, topic came up, and she said, well, white people don't get AIDS like that because they're, most white people live in affluent areas. And I'm like, that is not true. And she was really defending that. No, white people live in affluent areas and all this other stuff. And I'm like, whoa, hold up. Last time I checked, AIDS doesn't discriminate where you live at. That doesn't mean a goddamn thing. AIDS don't discriminate where you live at. If you guys don't know, back in the 80s, when AIDS was popping, it's coming out, the early cases were white people. The first early cases were gay white people. It was to the point that they didn't even know what was going on. They were calling it gay cancer because only gay white people were getting it. Gay white people were getting AIDS and just dropping left and right. This was in the 80s. And then Rock, I think, was it Rock something? That's in the Rock, not Rock Newman. It was some famous actor. He died of AIDS, and that shit rocked the world. Saying, "Oh man, anybody could get this shit. Oh shit, anybody could get it." And then this poor little white kid got it, and he went on Oprah and all this other shit. Then out of nowhere, he passed away. Then people did that whole blanket shit on Washington. All the people that passed away. And then they found out then they gave it a name, AIDS, and that's when they was like, oh shit, only black people are getting AIDS. Came from Africa. Only black people are getting AIDS. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, if you see the early cases, only white gay people were getting AIDS. That's who it was. Only gay white people were getting that shit. If you look at the start in the 80s, that's who was getting that shit. And on the low, a lot of people like to dismiss this. A lot of the STDs and STI cases are coming from white people. A lot of them. And this news article from Coachella, it doesn't surprise me. 250 herpes cases in that music festival? Ayo. So that little Becky that you're looking at, you better watch out. The bitch could be bumpy. You know what I mean? That little, Brad that you're looking at, across the street, better watch out. My man could be bumpy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, 250 herpes cases. Insane. Another thing that also happened was, I don't know if I got a lot of video game heads here, or video game, people, geeks or whatever the case is, but the new Mortal Kombat 11 came out, and I bought that shit. Hey, I was like, cause I'm a Mortal Kombat fan, back in the day and all that. So I'm like, this shit is tough. This shit is hard, So I bought it, I'm playing it, And funny thing is, because I always pick Scorpion for some reason. I don't know. Like, you know, I always pick Scorpion. Get over here, you know? The shit is hard. The shit is hard. I like it. I was going through that whole campaign mode shit. Well, not campaign, but, you know, the whole ladder thing. You know, just to see everybody's new story. Because for those who don't know, whenever you just go through just like the ladder of fighting, basically you got to fight 10 people and then you beat the... you don't beat the game, but you beat just the characters you know, ending of it. You just, every character has different endings of it, you know. So Jax, which is a black character with metal arms, he had the ending of turning back time and ending slavery, right? So that shit was dope. I'm like, oh shit, I like where they went with this. I'm like, this shit is dope. I like it. Shout out to NetherRealm. Shout out to Mortal Kombat. You know, I like where they're going with this. This shit is tough, you know. Then I see on Twitter that mad people are pissed off. A bunch of people are mad about the ending of Jax. So I'm like, wait a minute. What the fuck is this? They call the ending of Jax, ending slavery, him going back in time, ending slavery, as racist. That's the reason why I'm doing this episode the way I'm doing it. You know, the myth of reverse racism. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they said. The shit was racist. A lot of people are saying this shit is racist and all this other stuff. So I read the article and I couldn't read it anymore. I stopped. I'm done. I'm not gonna read this mayonnaise bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? So I took the ending and I put it on my Twitter and my Instagram, and this is what I said. So you have a suspected white supremacist out here pissed off that the ending of Jax, where he ends slavery, and they're calling it racist. Ending oppression to them is racist, and keeping white supremacy as a culture is not racist. You know what I'm saying? And I even put this on my Instagram. I got a lot of heat for that, but whatever, fuck yeah. I said the same thing, and I said, well, I just added, keeping white supremacy is part of the culture, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So that's something very interesting that I noticed. So it's racist to stop the oppression. It's racist to actually rise up against your oppressor. It's racist to stop a long history of being fucked up with your foot in my back and all that, with your foot in my neck, and stopping me from actually achieving what I need to achieve, and stopping me from being an actual human being, and you're treating me like an animal. Me stopping that is racist. But you keeping the system that makes me oppressed, makes me less than human, makes me actually to the point where I question my own self to see if I am what they tell me that I am. You know what I'm saying? And all this other shit, that's not racist whatsoever. You got fucking employers out here not hiring people based on race. That's not racist. You have a criminal justice system that says that you're not a slave until you actually get incarcerated. That's not racist. You actually have a bunch of realtors out here who actually go and redline a whole community and says, no, you're not supposed to move out of here. You're supposed to stay here because your people are meant to stay here. That's not racist. But ending slavery, ending something that's humane, is racist. That I got a lot of questions about that. So how is that racist? So I started talking to people. I started engaging with them. Hey, so you mean to tell me this is how is this racist? And a lot of them were telling me, why you gotta, it's a video game, why you have to base this on race. Remember what Nelly Fuller says. Remember what Nelly Fuller says. White supremacy. White supremacy. It involves people in 9 areas of activity. It involves people in 9 areas of activity. Remember that. That's what Nelly Fuller said. White supremacy involves you in 9 areas of activity. Video games is part of entertainment. That's one of that 9 areas. That's part of entertainment. If you guys don't know what the 9 areas are, go down and look at all my archives and you'll see Understanding White Supremacy Part 1, 2, and 3. So that is, one of the 9 areas, entertainment, video games. And remember, a lot of white supremacists like to play video games. You put those headphones on and you start playing online, all you start hearing is the N-word left and right. Left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't there a shooting in a video game tournament that happened because of a white kid shot a black kid? You know what I mean? So video games was always part of this whole, racism. It was part of, exposing racism a lot more, and it's basically, it says a lot, but that's supposed to be racist. That I found that extremely interesting. I found that extremely interesting. So when that happened, I just started questioning them. It's like, hey, so what's up? What's up with this? What's up with that? And all this other bullshit. And they couldn't answer. They didn't even know what was I talking about. You know what I'm saying? But I found that extremely interesting. So moving on to the next topic, the college scandal. So if you guys don't remember, a couple of weeks ago, the FBI ended up indicting a bunch of white people because of this college scandal. You know what I'm saying? They were found guilty of actually buying their kids' way into college and all that. And the thing about this is that it just, it yells out white privilege. Call it what you want. I got a lot of people on my Instagram telling me it's classism, it's not white supremacy. But the thing is, I always point out, well, the same thing happened to a black person. They didn't buy their way in. Simply, they just changed the address to, they just changed the address so that their kid could go to a better school, and they got like 5 years, 5 years, or something like that. So there's no such thing as classism, it's white supremacy. So a news article just came out saying that one of the people who indicted might get 10 months to no time in jail. And that just yells out the system of white supremacy protecting their own. Something you guys have to understand, that in the system of white supremacy, you're gonna have some white sacrifices and some white people who are not gonna get punished at all. The name of the game is the least amount of punishment possible. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they might not even get jail time is crazy. That shit is crazy, and you definitely need to call that out. That's white supremacy, and anybody who says that that's not white supremacy could be a suspected white supremacist. You feel what I'm saying? But that's, something I want to touch upon real quick. Also, there was this case. This is all leading into the topic. All right. So there was this case where a guy, some school bus driver in upstate New York, raped a 14-year-old girl, and this motherfucker got no jail time, son. This motherfucker got no jail time whatsoever. This dude this rapist raped a school bus driver, raped a 14-year-old girl, got caught red-handed, and got no jail time. And the reason why he got no jail time is because, this is his first offense. He never got in trouble before. and all this by just the simple fact that this motherfucker even thought about doing it and actually did it doesn't really matter. You know how many black and Latin kids right now, first offense for just holding weed or selling it for the first time so they could feed their family or whatever the case is, they get 25 to life. Some of them get 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Central Park 5, it was their first offense. Those motherfuckers got 25. You know what I'm saying? So this is a system of white supremacy again. And the thing is, we do not need for white people to admit that's what it is. We call it out, we say what it is, and we just keep it moving. They like it or love it, doesn't matter. We gotta stop. We have to stop trying to get their approval and stop saying things that might offend them. We gotta stop doing that. Fuck that. We don't need to be scared about what offends them or whatever the case is. You feel what I'm saying? We're beyond that. We're beyond that whatsoever, you know? We don't need to be afraid or, oh man, they might, you know, they might not like what I say. Nah, get the fuck out of here with that, all that bullshit. Nah, fuck that. That's white supremacy. If they don't like it, they can keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But that goes to show that basically goes, you know, is related. It's related to the topic at hand. If you guys don't know, there was like a couple of years ago, actually. This happened a couple of years ago. Actually, no, not really, but I think it was a year or two ago. It was a black officer that shot a white woman. The media wowed out, showing this woman's picture up in the screen. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that she was an aggressor, not going into her background, not saying if she had parking tickets or anything. They just said, hey, she's a victim of police shooting. The story goes that the white woman scared the black cop, you know, and he ended up shooting her, right? It was a mistake. Guess what? Mistakes happen all the time, right? White cops shoot black people off of the strength of being scared, and they get off, right? Even if video evidence shows otherwise, they still get off. Black cop said the same thing. Hey, how could she scare me? I shot. My bad. He was found guilty this week. That officer was found guilty. Now, if he was found innocent, people will start calling out reverse racism. That's reverse racism. That's reverse racism. And this is where I get into my main topic. The myth of reverse racism. On a couple of episodes ago, I made an episode called Can Black People Be Racist? And I went down the whole line on how black people cannot and don't have the power to be racist. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that people come out with this bullshit reverse racism angle makes no type of sense in the world. Why it doesn't make a sense in the world? Well, this is just another form of people, especially white people, to at least become victims, because they're always the victims no matter what. Not just white supremacists, I'm talking about white people. Okay? They're always the victims no matter what it is. If you let them tell it, shit, slavery, they're the victims. You know, oh, we had to get you Negroes out of Africa, so we had to do all that hard work and all that labor and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, up to them, you know, they're the victim. They're always a victim. You know what I'm saying? But, like I said, can black people be racist? And I just went down the list. You know what I'm saying? I went down the whole list. And I can't, you know, I drove the point home that black people don't have the ability or the power to be racist. So, why, you know, again, why is this whole, that's reverse racism comes into play. You guys got to understand, whenever white people, they feel like there's a form of injustice going upon them, they very quickly either unite or start talking about their feelings right then and there. This is bullshit. You're gonna hear from my lawyer, pal. You know what I'm saying? They're very quick to do so. They're very, very quick. I remember this one time. I was working at the internet company where, you know, you guys are hearing some of my work stories. And this white guy, he had a meeting, right? A very important meeting. According to him, it was a very important meeting, right? Part of the procedure into going inside that building, right, was to give your ID to the person. He scans it. You go up. That's it. He felt emboldened enough to go, not even to the front desk, just to go through. The security guards on these little gates before you even walk in. It's a corporate building, you know. The gate's not just gonna open. You know, you can't even pass that gate. And the guy goes like, "Let me in." The security guard there was like, "No, I don't know you. You don't work here. I have a meeting." That's nice. Congratulations, you have a meeting. You have to give your ID to the person in the front, and then you could go upstairs. Why do I have to do that? That's when his privilege. He wants to use his privilege. Why do I have to do that? Rules do not apply to these people. Rules do not apply to these individuals. Why do I have to do that? I'm white. I could go into any establishment. I'm white. I give you people a job. I'm white. You're not supposed to treat me this way. You feel what I'm saying? By the simple fact that a person is doing their job, from getting this person inside the building, to them, that's a form of reverse racism. They're being victimized. They're being stopped from achieving what they need to achieve. That's a form of reverse racism, and they can't handle that shit. So he goes, "Why do I have to do that?" "Because that's the rules, sir." He doesn't go and says, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry, blah, blah." No, "I have an important meeting." That's nice. You know what this guy ended up doing? He ended up cursing the security guard out and walking away, leaving. The meeting has nothing to do with anything. The meeting has nothing. Oh, wait, I got stopped? Not a problem. I'ma leave. Because outside you don't have no control, and I can control what happens to me outside. Because I'm in the world that I'm talking as a white supremacist, that I have privileges and benefits from. So a week later, that security guard ended up getting fired, because what ended up happening was this guy ended up calling whoever he needed to call, you know, the higher ups or whatever the case is, and that security guard ended up getting fired. So that was extremely clear to me. Whoa, this is white supremacy at play. So reverse racism, just basic bare bones, is bullshit. What's the reverse What's the reverse? What's the reverse? Just ask them that. Okay, wait, hold on. What is racism? Let them break down what racism is. What is the reverse of that? That means it has to be a positive thing, right? There's no such thing as reverse racism. Victims of racism cannot apply the same sort of victimization that they're experiencing. That's not a thing whatsoever, because the victims of racism aren't in the power dynamic to actually do so, to actually implement those type of victimizationizing whatever. I think I just made up a word, but they're not, and white supremacists and most white people, they like to still make you believe because they want to be victims themselves. You know what I mean? They just go around just trying to be victims so they can at least feel like, okay, at least I'm like the common folk. Okay, at least I'm like one of y'all. We could relate. That's why you have a lot of white women out here going out to black women in some jobs and some colleges and actually going like, well, sister girl, me and you are in the same struggle. We're women. And she doesn't really tell you that the only victimizations she's getting from is probably a white man, maybe in the same level or a little bit higher in the company or whatever the case is. But outside that job, that white woman holds and gets the same benefits and privileges that that white man gets. No difference. Inside a job, yeah, the structure dynamic could be different, but it's not gonna be crazy different to the point when you're outside, because to a non-white person, inside a job, outside a job, you are still non-white. All of that does not translate. All of that you don't get no benefits whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got a lot of white women going out and saying, hey, listen, sister girl, me and you will share the same struggle. Men victimize me. They victimize you too. They see you as weak and all this other crazy bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? When that is not the case whatsoever. That is not the case whatsoever. That white woman does not tell you that she has a better job opportunity out here than you do. That white woman does not tell you that she gets more privileges and benefits than you do. That white woman does not tell you that she could probably get a loan way faster in a house, way faster, in a better location than you. She doesn't tell you that. She wants you to get confused, and that's part of white supremacy code. Keep you confused of what is racist. Keep you confused of what is white supremacy. Keep you confused. So when we start putting ourselves in these little divided channels, gay, women, all this other stuff, and then they come out with a double-edged sword, check this out, reverse racism, you said, wait a minute, there was a lot of forms of racism in different levels. There's another form now? Reverse racism? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So this is something that we have to really watch out for and call out. We always have to call out white supremacy. You know, if we don't have a way monetarily to combat white supremacy, which we do, you know, we vote for our dollars, with our dollars and all that, but to further contribute to the fight, you know, call out white supremacy. Don't be afraid to do so. You know, you gotta be wary of where you're at. Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna hold everybody to that, but call out white supremacy. That's your God-given right. You gotta call out the devil. You gotta call out negativity, evilness. That's a God-given right. You feel what I'm saying? So that concludes this week's episode. Remember, this might be the last week that I'm gonna be, doing it in the weekends and releasing it Monday. Next week is gonna be the year that I've been doing this for a whole straight year. So I'm gonna upload it in a new week or whatever the case is. Maybe it's gonna be on Wednesday or on a Thursday. But you guys keep tuned. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so you guys can get updated at the same name, radical_Latino_. And as always, I'ma catch you guys later.